Sadhguru, the next question is from Evelyn from Indonesia. Namaskaram, Sadhguru.
Namaskaram.
How can people who are affected by death recover from the trauma and grief of losing family members during this epidemic?
How can people affected by death recover?
How can they recover from the trauma and grief
Okay.
of losing family members?
Okay. Well, I am not trying to make light of the situation. Situation is of enormous gravity. It's not that I don't understand this. I get this better than anybody, and I know more figures than what is in the news. So I understand the gravity of the situation absolutely. But this is what life is about, that situations can become very heavy. But if your mind also becomes very heavy, you are part of the problem now. When situations are heavy, you must be light-hearted, light-headed, doing what you have to do, sensibly. If you also become heavy, you are enhancing the problem. You are not a solution. World will be better without you. This is not what a human being is made to be. We claim, or even scientifically it's proven, that you are the peak of evolution, at least on this planet. I don't know if you'll pass the test elsewhere, because even here most people are not passing the test. But you are the peak of evolution. That means you are the highest level of intelligence, understanding, perception, everything. If you're all this, you must be able to handle life situations well, gracefully, wonderfully. People are not dying only because of this virus. Right now, unfortunately, it's become a wave. It's become a wave. People are dying unnecessarily, that's the problem. Otherwise, every day, nearly 250,000 people or close to that, maybe 150 to 200,000 people die. Now, unfortunately, extra… what's the number per day worldwide? 6,000? Maybe 5,000–6,000 people extra are dying. There is a possibility that this can continue and grow into numbers which are unnecessary. So I want you to understand, death is not new in the world. Death is not new to families. I'm not trying to belittle whatever grief you have, but I want you to understand, this is what it means. When things go wrong in our lives, will we handle it gracefully or not? This is the most important thing. Otherwise, when everything is well, of course everybody is wonderful. Well, there are a lot of idiots, even when things are going well, they're nasty. There is no salvation for them. But when things go dead wrong in our lives, still we are there doing what we have to do. I want you to understand that those people who are consciously putting themselves to risk, that's where our empathy should be, really. Well, it got me, it got you, we either made it or we did not make it, that's a different matter. Yes, when you lose a dear one in your life, it's not a simple thing, because your life gets dislocated, you lost something precious in your life. Not easy, but this is the nature of this existence. This is the nature of your existence, that you come and you go. Either you go first or somebody goes first. Unfortunately, they're becoming victims to this spread of this virus, whatever. But we must understand this. Many waves of epidemics have happened like this. This time around, it is going everywhere in the world, but in cities, in villages, in countries, in the past century, if you look back, there have been plagues, there have been malarias, there have been even influenzas which have killed thousands and thousands of people. This one is getting all the publicity because this has an ability to spread rapidly and without respecting national borders or whatever, it's going everywhere. And above all, it is also the level of media and social media we have. So this is getting a lot of publicity. I'm not saying it's not dangerous, it is dangerous. It's unfortunate if you lost somebody in your life, and many of us may lose somebody in our lives, or we may lose ourselves. It's possible if it goes out of control. So now that you know how painful it is, let us do something so that many more people need not go through the same pain. When you lose somebody very dear to you, how painful it is. If you know this, one commitment should be, you must ensure this doesn't happen to another person and another person as far as possible. All of it is not in our hands, but we should not… every citizen has to just take this commitment. I shall not be a carrier. I will not carry this virus and give it to another person. First thing, I will not let it come to me. Just in case it comes to me, I will ensure it doesn't go to another person. This much commitment we must take because there is pain. Pain is not just of somebody dying, the pain is of people losing so many things. People losing somebody who's dear to them is more painful than death itself. So we're sorry that you have to go through this. Unfortunately, many thousands of people are going through this. Present statistics say every day 5,000 to 6,000 people, but this number could multiply just like that. It can just burst forth into 100,000 a day, it's possible. This is not to create fear and panic, but we must understand what we are confronting. We need to know what we are confronting right here. What we are confronting right here is an unprecedented kind of situation. At least in our generation, we have never faced anything like this. This is the first time such a thing is happening. Whatever comes our way, let's ensure that we handle it gracefully and make sure what happens to us doesn't happen to one more and one more and one more endlessly. Grief is not just a psychological process. If you're very closely connected with another life, grief will be in every cell in your body, it'll hurt in every possible way. Yes, it is like that. That's why we are human. We are human because we can hurt for somebody else's tragedy. Somebody dies and we hurt, this is what makes us human. Suppose somebody dear to us dies and we don't hurt, this is not human, this is inhuman. So, yes, it hurts to be human, but that is why it is worthwhile being human. So I know I'm not doing anything to bring solace to you, but this is the nature of life. And what's her name? Evelyn? Evelyn, wherever you are, whoever it is that you lost, if you can send the latest picture of that person, we will see what we can do. And your picture also, we will see what we can do. I know this is a crazy thing I'm taking up, but because now we may be flooded with thousands and thousands of this, but because you asked, as I said, if somebody is hurting, if it doesn't hurt you at all, that means you've forsaken your humanity. It's out of that I'm saying this.
Namaskaram. This channel is an attempt to bring the enormous and unlimited wisdom of Sadhguru into our lives. His talks and speeches offer clarity, knowledge, and inspiration to enrich our lives. Let's make use of his presence and transform ourselves into better beings. If you think that this video has added value, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.